Hello and welcome to the magic of fishing. You join me on the bank of a beautiful local club water, small pond near Woking where I live, and it's a stunning spring day, early spring day. We're in mid-March, Easter's around the corner, leaves on the willows, we've got a few early lily pads showing and the sun is shining. We are still in that part of the year when it can feel like summer's around the corner 1 minute and then like you're back in winter the next, and we had hail yesterday. It was also pretty chilly overnight, down to single digits, so the combination of the bright sunshine, the cool temperatures overnight may mean fishing's a little bit tough, but we're going to give it a good go, and it's just a joy to be out with my feet in the water and a rod by my side. And we're going to be trying a couple of baits today, the first of which is earthworms. I think it's a really underrated bait, completely free, easy enough to find at this time of year, just a fork in the veg patch. I was out in a hailstorm gathering a good handful yesterday, and although lobworms are really popular for the rivers and dendrobinas, great for matches, I use them in my summer matches back up north very often. I think earthworms can really attract some better fish, and being free, it's just a bonus. And the second bait we'll try is good old bread. Still cheap as chips, even after all this inflation. I've just brought a loaf of sliced white, and I'll be trying some decent sized pinches of flake on the hook, see whether we can get some skimmers, maybe tench, decent roach would be nice. But I've mashed some of this up and thrown a few handfuls out by the emerging pads, and we'll keep trying between these two baits, both probably attracting slightly different types of fish, and we'll see what's best on the day. Tackle wise, it couldn't be simpler as always with me. A small peacock waggler, handmade float, slim cane insert tip, nice sensitivity. We've got bulk of shot around that, and we have a few bunches of number 8s, 2 number 8s each time, fishing in about 4 or 5 foot of water down to a quick change swivel. Then we're finishing off with a fairly decent size 10 for these bigger baits. And because I've just fed that mashed bread over on the left towards the pads, I'm going to start a bit closer in where I've fed a few red maggots and a little bit of soil from the worms, a bit of chop worm. I'll start with a worm bait down there and see if there's anything about. Got the usual 3000 size reel loaded with 4-pound mainline, and because there are 1 or 2 tench inclusions in this pond, I'm going to fish a 3-pound bottom, fairly heavy, with a light rod, just in case we need to bully anything away from those pads. And having fished this pond a couple of times during the winter, January and February, and done alright, you know, had plenty of bites and a few fish. It really is nice to be fishing it in the sun with a few signs of greenery. First leaves on the willow tree, rushes coming up on the fish cages out in the deeper water. Yeah, the first green pad's just about showing on the surface. And it's far from ideal conditions for catching fish, especially better fish. Bright sunshine and cold temperatures overnight. And I really don't mind. In fact, if you saw my recent video Marsh Farm Fishery in Surrey on Harris Lake. I really did fill my boots last Sunday. Fished for 3 or 4 hours and had 70 fish, 70 plus fish, including some nice roach and rudd up to £half a pound. So I've scratched that itch, and today's a bit more about enjoying my surroundings and sitting it out with bigger baits, trying to catch perhaps 2 or 3 better fish. We've got our first fish on worm, not a biggie. Nice to see a bite. It's a lovely rod. Only a little one, but very welcome as a first fish. Oh, and the next fish is a lot bigger. Absolutely solid. It's taking me right over to the pads on the left. I feel the line grating. Just trying to ease it out. The rod is hooked. Whoa! Oh, it's a serious bend, that. Try and keep it out of the snags. I've just seen the float. Oh, it's a nice fish. That was a scrap and a half. Still is. Not over yet. Got some power, this fish. Oh, lovely. Just what we came for. Spring tench. That's a lovely fish. Another proper fish that's run straight out on the bread. Big old flake. I'd missed a few bites, dips before, probably small fish. But this feels very nice. Not quite what we're after, but there's another species, small roach. There's another tiddler, rudd this time. I think the extra feed has brought them on. I have to up the size of my bait. What a lovely evening. Nice sunset. Or the start of the sunset. Still got a good hour yet. Well, just giving worm a go right down the edge again where I've been putting the chopped worm. We've got a fish. That time of night or evening. You can see the worm on the line. And that is another bonus skimmer. Just about hooked. You can feel it's rough, getting ready for spawning. Nice, I'll get him back. Well, that's the beauty of these sessions. Just great to get out on the bank and be surrounded by nature at the beginning of spring. But when you're fishing with old school baits like bread and worms, you never know what's going to pull the float under, and that bonus skimmer at the end was a really welcome finish. Probably going to fish on for another 15 minutes yet, but the light is starting to go and therefore my time. But yeah, we've had a couple of spring tench, a couple of skimmers, roach, rudd, 4 different species, and a couple of better fish in those tench that I've sat it out for today. I could have filled my boots fishing maggots or bread punch, undoubtedly. A ton of small roach and rudd, having a go at the bait all the time, but sitting it out's been really enjoyable, and those 2 tench really made it feel like it paid off, that patient approach. So if you're not already subscribed, please do for more videos like this, and if you've enjoyed it, I hope you have, give it a like, and I'll see you again on the bank soon. Cheers.